The United Nations says it will be forced to halt relief operations in Gaza today if Israel does not allow shipments of fuel into the region.
The UN Secretary General is calling for a ceasefire to make way for additional aid. And this comes after 6 Gaza hospitals have closed. Hospitals in the area say that they're struggling to treat the wounded and that fuel is desperately needed to power generators. The World Health Organization says more than 1,000 patients, including premature babies, are at risk of dying. Israel, however, says Hamas has plenty of fuel, more than 130,000 gallons of it stockpiled. The IDF released this photo appearing to show fuel tanks located in the southern part of the Gaza Strip.
News4Jax reporter Vic Micolucci spoke to a Palestinian pastor who helps run the Gaza hospital that was bombed, and he is begging for humanitarian help.
Strikes continue in Gaza as the death toll rises in the thousands. Father Fadi Diab reminds us these are people, not numbers.
We're heartbroken, we're traumatized, we're shocked.
He's a Palestinian priest with St. Andrew's Episcopal in Ramallah. That's the West Bank. He's also the vice chair of the Al-Ahli Arab Hospital that was bombed last week with 471 lives lost.
I mean, if there's anything that should be off limits, it's a hospital.
There is no excuse. What is happening in Gaza is a brutal attack on civilians, on healthcare institutions, on human rights organizations, on the UN.
The cause of the hospital blast is still disputed. Israel says it came from an enemy rocket within Gaza. Many Palestinians blame Israel.
How do you feel about the U.S. and other allies backing Israel, sending resources to help Israel when there are people on all sides dying and suffering because of this conflict?
Well, you know, Vic, one of the really painful feeling about this conflict is to feel abandoned.
A lot of people in the world are saying there is no excuse, no matter what the history is, for Hamas fighters to go and kill families, kill people at a music festival.
So, I mean, I think there is no excuse for Hamas militants to go into Israel and attack people. There's no excuse for the Israeli army to bomb civilians. There's no excuse for U.S. to bomb a city somewhere or a village somewhere. There's no excuse for Russia to bomb, Ukrainian civilians.
Today, there's controversy over humanitarian aid. A small amount of supplies is coming in. However, Gaza is dangerously low on fuel for hospitals already without electricity. Even something as simple as safe drinking water is running out. The UN Secretary General says that is a violation of international humanitarian law.
At this point, I think the only thing that we should call for is for a ceasefire. We want to save lives. I think the most important thing in this is to save lives on both sides.
Israel is standing behind its offensive, saying Hamas has hundreds of hostages and is using Palestinians as human shields.
A lot of us, let's say in the United States, feel helpless because we see this pain, we see this suffering, we see the destruction, and we want to help, but we don't know how. What can we do?
I do believe that we can do a lot, even with small acts of telling truth, of questioning the general narrative. And I hope the Western media would listen more to the voices on the ground. I think these voices matter for what is true and what is genuine.
That was Vic Micolucci reporting. His interview with Father Fadi lasted 30 minutes. If you'd like to hear more about his perspective on the conflict and the decades-long problems he says led up to the war, we're working on uploading the full interview to our YouTube channel. You can check there later tonight to watch.